Tosh Dilek, welcome to Tibettv. In today's TibettV's program on Tibet support groups, we will discuss on Tibet Initiative Deutschland. Since 1989, the Tibet Initiative Deutschland has been advocating for the Tibetan people's right to self-determination and the protection of human rights in Tibet. Tibet Initiative Deutschland is based in Germany with the members around 2,050 regional volunteer chapters throughout the country. To discuss more on Tibet Initiative Deutschland, I have with me Mr. Wolfgang Greder, who is the chairman of the organization. Welcome to Tibettv, Mr. Wolfgang Greder.
Thank you for the invitation me to this interview, Tashi Dile.
Mr. Wolfgang Greder, my first question is about the organization. So, when and how did Tibet Initiative Germany come into existence? And what were the organization's aims when it was started?
Yes, the Tibet Initiative Germany, Deutschland, was founded in 1989 by Tibetans in exile and German people. You know, 1989 was a very special political year. The Russian troops withdrew from Afghanistan. It was the massacre on the Tiananmen Square in Beijing, but it was the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the Dalai Lama received the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes, already at the beginning of the 1980s, the Association of Tibetans in Germany wanted to found an organization that would actively support Tibetans politically. The Tibetans knew they would not be able to get their rights on their own. And then on 10th of March 1989, about 800 people came to a public event in Bonn, organized by the Association of Tibetans in Germany. Afterwards, the audience was asked whether they could support Tibet. And spontaneously, a list was laid out in which 80 interested people signed up. And then the official foundation of the Tibet Initiative Deutschland was started on 8th of August 1989 in an apartment in Bonn. And since the beginning of our work, we have the following aims. First, we want to help to bring a peaceful solution for Tibet. We want to help Tibetans to achieve their right to self-determination, and we want to achieve an improvement in the human rights situation in Tibet.
Okay, sir, my next question is about your organization's activities. Your organization carries out lots of advocacy campaigns like religious freedom, press freedom, and freedom of expression in Tibet. So my question is, who are the target audience to create awareness about above mentioned critical issues?
I think the interest in the Tibetan struggle is still extremely high among the German people. But we have a lack of information on news from Tibet in our mainstream media. The Chinese government has almost completely closed up Tibet, since 2008. That is why we try to draw attention to ourselves with our advocacy campaigns, in which Germany can make connections to its own lifestyle and political decisions. We have two main target groups, the German people and the German politicians. The more people speak up for Tibet, the more people call on politicians to act, the greater their willingness to react. For instance, over 2,000 political prisoners in Tibet are currently documented. With our Free Me campaign, we are campaigning for their release. We write petitions, collect signatures, organize demonstrations. Or our biggest campaign is our annual flag campaign. We try to motivate citizens all over Germany to fly the Tibetan flag on 10th of March. In the last 20 years, more than 1,000 cities host the Tibetan flag. 2020, we had 420 cities that joined the action, and we try to increase the number every year. Or with our environmental campaign, Green Tibet, Free Tibet, we inform about the ruthless exploitation of Tibet's natural resources. We inform about associated human rights violations, and will inform about the global consequences of Chinese environmental policy in Tibet. Now with our new campaign, the Tibet Uncensored campaign, we have a campaign that focuses on the censorship by the Chinese authorities and the propaganda we are facing in Europe. Using various examples, we try to raise awareness of China's soft power strategy abroad. Or we have also published books, such as a collection of essays by the Tibetan writer Dzogchen, who was imprisoned for his work. For this purpose, we have founded some years ago the Lungter Publishing House.
Okay, sir, my next question is, sir, you have mentioned that your organization's major aim is to work on a peaceful resolution for Tibet. So I'll ask you a question on this note. Sir, as your organization strives to have a peaceful resolution for Tibet via a dialogue between representatives of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Chinese representatives. So my question is, how important do you think is the middle way approach for Tibetans and for the Tibet supporters to understand and support middle way approach?
This is a very important question. Yes, we are focused on a non-violent solution for Tibet to preserve the culture and the identity. That is why we are promoting the dialogue between the Chinese government and His Holiness and the Tibetan Central Administration. The Tibet Initiative Germany sees itself as a supporting part of the dialogue. We concentrate on the goal that Tibetans in Tibet have the possibility of self-determination. Whether this can happen in a real autonomous region or in an independent country, but this depends on the wishes of the Tibetans. Only the Tibetans themselves can decide their path. But we know there are only 68 million Tibetans, and compare with 1,400 million Chinese people. I'm sure there are many Tibetans behind the middle way approach. The non-violent path, I think, is a significant signal to the world. If this way is successful, it means peace is possible without weapons and bombs, but also in a peaceful way. And for this reason, Tibet has much sympathy in the world, and for this reason, Tibet finds many supporters in Germany.
Okay, sir. I've also noticed on your organization's website that your organization works on diverse issues, like campaigns on issues concerning to Hong Kong, Uyghurs, and East Turkestan. So, sir, can you tell us about the relevance of these issues to Tibet's cause?
The Tibetans have the longest experience fighting the communist regime in China. The global movement has become professional in recent years, and we have support at all levels all around the world. But I'm sure together we are stronger. China's policy of oppression does not only affect Tibet, it affects the Uyghurs in Xinjiang, East Turkestan, the Mongols in Inner Mongolia. Cooperation with the democracy movement in Hong Kong and with Taiwanese political representatives is also important and necessary. The world can see China as a self-confident nationalist state. The country spends more money on internal security than on external. But you cannot hold the country together in the long term with oppression. And for this reason, we believe that fighting together can draw more attention to the issue, give us a strong power, and we can learn from each other.
Okay, sir. My next question is, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has visited your country several times, right, sir? So, sir, my question is, how relevant do you think is His Holiness the Dalai Lama's first commitment, that is the promotion of human values in today's world?
The Dalai Lama is one of the most respected persons in the world. In Germany, you said he's really a welcome guest. Many people would give anything to see him. In 2018 was his last trip to Europe. He was a guest of the Tibet Initiative Germany. He spoke a lot about non-violence resistance, but also about ethical values. And that is what sets him apart. It is not a particular religion that is important because there's potential for violence in all religions. The common, not the separating, should be seen. And for His Holiness, it is compassion, mindfulness, and the pursuit of happiness. That is why he appeals to so many people. But for China, he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The Dalai Lama doesn't speak only for Tibet or against China, but he speaks for justice. He lives what he says. He reaches out his open hand, but the Chinese reject it with their fists. Therefore, we must do everything we can do to uphold the ethical values if we want peace in the world and peace in Tibet.
Okay, sir. I've also noticed that your organization is very active on social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram. So my question is, how important do you think is the role of social media for your organization to promote Tibet's cause, sir?
Yes, social media is an important tool to mainly connect with the younger generation. I'm a member of the elder generation. It is a great way to exchange information very quickly, get responses, and it is an easy way to get in touch with different people who may not have a direct connection to Tibet. I think it is important to use all available channels to draw attention to our topic. It doesn't always have to be about politics. The nice and positive sides of Tibet culture, Tibet religion, Tibet nature should be also well represented on social media. A big bonus is the easy worldwide exchange that you can have with it. But the biggest bonus is to have a chance that Tibetans in Tibet can see so many people in Germany support Tibet. This can give them courage and confidence. Tibet is not forgotten. And I would like to end the interview with one slogan. The other slogan I will say afterwards. One slogan is a slogan of the Tibet Support Group Germany. Together, strong with Tibet.
So before I end our interview, I would like to ask you a small question. As you are aware, Central Tibetan Administration marked this year as Gratitude Year to His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. So, sir, any message from your side, sir?
Yes, His Holiness is the symbol of Tibet. He's the symbol, I think, of the peace in the world. And therefore, I wish him a really long life, and I really wish him strong power for his vision for a free Tibet and for a peaceful world. And he gave me the second slogan, I would like to say. The second slogan is never give up. And this must be our slogan for Tibet.
With this, we are going to end our discussion here. I would like to thank Mr. Wolfgang for joining our program. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for working for Tibet.